Welcome to the Money Talk Simple podcast, the show that breaks down money, wealth, and the world simply. I'm your host, Josh.
And I'm Nora.
So today we're tackling a pretty small, simple topic. Just the entire future of money.
Yeah, nothing major. Should be a quick chat. No, but seriously, it feels like everything is changing, right? I was reading about the general feeling coming out of places like Davos looking ahead to 2026. And the mood is,
Anxious?
yeah, anxious is a good word. They're all talking about a fragmenting global economy. One expert called it a profound transformation. It feels like the ground is shifting under our feet when it comes to how money works.
Shifting is putting it lightly. It feels like it's being completely broken apart and rebuilt from scratch. Which brings us to the first big idea. Let's start with the optimistic view. The Silicon Valley vision, you could say.
Okay, I like starting with optimism.
So Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, he talks about creating an internet of money. His whole point is, why is our money still operating on like 1970s technology when our messages are instant?
Right. It's kind of absurd when you think about it. I can send a photo to the other side of the world in a second for free, but sending $100 can take 3 days and cost who knows what.
Exactly. So his vision is that money should just flow like data, as easily as sending an email or a text. No more waiting days for a bank transfer, no more outrageous fees for sending money cross-border, just seamless.
An internet financial system. I love that idea. And it's not some far-off concept, you know? Danelle Dixon from the Stellar Development Foundation gave this incredible real-world example.
The one in Ukraine?
Yeah, they were able to deliver aid directly to Ukrainian refugees on their phones using stablecoins. I mean, think about that. It's instant, it bypasses all the slow, traditional banking infrastructure, and it's corruption-resistant because it goes right to the person who needs it.
That's the kind of thing that makes you go, oh, okay, I get it now. It's not just about speculation. And Dixon's other point, which I think is so important for this to ever go mainstream, is that regular people don't need to understand the technology behind it.
Right.
You don't need to know what blockchain is or how a stablecoin works. For the user, she says, it just looks like a digital wallet on your phone. It's just your money. It's like using the internet today. You don't think about the protocols, you just click.
Totally. And that simplicity opens up so much. She talked about financial inclusion, like a digital artist in a country with a volatile currency can get paid by someone across the world instantly in a stable currency. They don't need a traditional bank, which they might not even have access to. That is a huge deal.
It's a game changer, and it helps to finally move past that old narrative, you know?
And it's not just about big international payments. Think about the creator economy. Right now, if you want to tip a creator $1, the payment processor might take 30 cents of that. That's a huge friction cost. But with a system built on this new tech, you could send 1 cent, and it would cost a tiny fraction of a cent to process. It opens up the world of micropayments, which has been a dream for decades. You could pay a few cents to read a single article without a subscription, or tip a streamer for a single great comment.
And it goes even deeper than that. When you treat money as programmable data, you unlock things that sound like science fiction. Think about smart contracts, where payments are released automatically only when certain conditions are met. An insurance claim could be paid out the instant an accident report is verified, with no human intervention.
Oh, the it's only for criminals thing? Yeah, the data just doesn't back that up. Illicit activity is a tiny, tiny fraction of transactions. It's becoming a real utility for real people.
A real utility, exactly. Okay, so that's the bright, shiny, tech utopian future. Money as data moving at the speed of light. But then there's the other side of the coin.
Of course. This is where Ray Dalio walks into the room and, pours a big bucket of cold geopolitical water on everything.
Ha, exactly. Dalio's a billionaire investor, and he looks at the world from, well, a much more cautious perspective. He sees this fragmentation we mentioned, competing global powers, trade conflicts. He says the world is just getting riskier.
And that instability always impacts money, because money is so tied to power and control.
Right. So his argument is that the entire fiat system, government-backed money like the dollar, the euro, it's under threat. Because when countries get into fights, what's the first thing they do?
They use money as a weapon. Sanctions, freezing assets.
Precisely. And Dalio says that makes other countries and even just wealthy individuals extremely nervous. They start asking, is my money actually safe here? Could it be confiscated tomorrow?
So if you're a country that isn't perfectly aligned with, say, the US and its allies, you start looking for alternatives. You get antsy.
You get very antsy. And that's why you see this huge global trend of central banks buying up gold like never before. Because gold is physical. It's neutral. It's much, much harder for another country to confiscate. It's the ultimate you can't delete this asset.
It all comes down to trust, doesn't it? Dalio's whole point is that a currency has to be a good storehold of wealth. You have to trust that it will hold its value and that you will have access to it. And when that trust starts to break down,
The whole system gets wobbly. People and governments start looking for the exits. So you have this huge clash between the tech vision of a borderless internet of money and the geopolitical reality of a world that's building more and more walls.
okay, so sitting between the tech optimists and the geopolitical pessimists, there must be someone in the middle, right? The pragmatist?
There is. And that's our third expert, Bill Winters. He's a CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, so he is right in the thick of the existing system. But he also sees what's coming, and he has this great phrase for it, a replumbing of the financial system.
Replumbing. I love that. It's so visual. It's not just, painting the house. It's ripping out all the old pipes and putting in new ones.
And the new pipes, according to him, are made of tokens. It's all about tokenization.
Right. So instead of the crazy way it works now, where if I send you $1 million, the money doesn't actually move for hours or even a day. It just sits in a queue to be settled in a big batch overnight.
Which is insane. The system basically sleeps at night and on weekends.
It's so archaic. But with tokenization, using a stablecoin or maybe a central bank digital currency, you just send the token. Zap, it's there. The payment is the settlement. The system is always on, 24/7.
The benefits there are huge. Winters says this could unlock trillions of dollars of liquidity that's just stuck in transit in the current system. It's a massive efficiency gain.
And he also mentioned traceability, which is fascinating. You could build rules into the money itself. Imagine aid money that can literally only be spent on food and medicine. That programmability is powerful.
Okay, but the banker in him is also realistic. Winters points out that the challenges to get there are, well, they're enormous.
I was going to say, this sounds great, but it can't be easy.
Not at all. The biggest one is creating a global regulatory framework. I mean, if money tokens are flying across borders in a split second, every country needs to agree on the rules. And in the fragmented world Dalio described, good luck.
Yeah, getting the US, China, Europe, and everyone else to sing from the same hymn sheet on financial regulation, that feels nearly impossible.
Right? And the other thing is just the technology itself. Can these blockchain networks really scale to handle the volume of the entire global financial system? The tech is promising, but it still needs to mature.
So to try and wrap our heads around this huge topic, where does that leave us? We've got the frictionless Internet of Money vision.
Colliding with the messy reality of geopolitical mistrust and the very practical challenges of actually building the new plumbing.
It seems like the direction of travel is clear. The future is digital, it is tokenized. The what seems pretty settled.
Yeah, I agree. The replumbing is happening, one way or another. But it's not going to be a simple, clean switch. It's going to be messy and political and complicated.
The how and the when are still very much up for grabs. It's this three-way tug-of-war between the tech vision, the geopolitical reality, and the practical challenges of regulation and scale.
That's the perfect way to put it, and we are all going to have a front row seat as it unfolds.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next time as we unpack another idea you think you know.
And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next.